you filmed the area that you want to film, you've turned the camera off, you've taken the micro SD card out, put it into a small adapter, an SD card adapter, put it into your computer or laptop, and then open up the USB drive or the micro SD card that you can see in File Explorer. Go into DCIM, and then you'll see a folder called Camera 01. Click into there, and as you can see on mine, these are the most recent. This is the most recent capture. Now, what you'll notice is you'll have two VID files. Now, this is your two lenses because your camera has two lenses. You'll then notice an LRV file, which isn't massively important, but what it does do is it helps preview the video in the InstaStudio. So first thing we're going to do is take these off the micro SD card because it's not very good practice to edit and export with a micro SD card plugged in. It's always best to get that footage off the SD card just in case something happens and put it onto your computer. So I'm going to grab them. I'm then going to copy them. And I'm going to create a new video. Insta camera footage, for example. And I'll paste that footage into that folder. Once completed, I can then take out my micro SD card because I don't need that anymore. So I can remove this page. I then double click on InstaStudio and it'll open up like this. So if you look on the left here, you can drag and drop footage here or click open to browse files. Either or, both work fine. I'm going to open. So I'll open here. I then go to video. Here's my folder. These are my files. So I'll grab all three and I'll click open. Now it will load the files in. Don't worry if you see anything in the bottom here, because this is what we're looking for. So I know this is my video. This is our studio here. Now, what I can do is on this duration bar here, the small thin yellow bar is your duration. So I can click through or I can drag it through. Now, what I can do here is I can actually trim it. So this thicker small bar is the start and the end of the video. So I can trim it. So what I might want to do is just come to there. And you'll make the video smaller. Now if I just preview here, I might want to remove this bit. Because obviously we don't want me in the shot. So I can press play. So if I grab it and I leave it here, I can then cut that end of the video to there. So now, when I press play, a video ends there. Don't worry about the position, whether it's at the front here or the back here, that's not important. Okay, so I've got my video. I now want to export it. On the far right here, you'll see several options, and I'm going to go through them. So I'm going to open them up. So the first one is stabilization type. Always keep flow state stabilization on. Now, you're not going to do movement. If you do movement, this will help. So it's always good just to keep that on. Second one is stitching. Now, we don't have a special lens cover, like a dive case, etc. So we're going to keep that as normal. Stitching optimization, I'm going to click on dynamic stitching. Next one is media processing. Now, you might want to get a bit more of a lift with the voice. So we'll click on voice, and what it will do is it will just reload it again. Whether you hear a difference, it's subjective.
That's not ideal though.
I don't know whether that's better or worse. It entirely is up to you. So then you have logo. Now, whether you use this or not is dependent on you. But for us editing, it's probably best you don't use it, because if you do use it, it might interfere with the editing. So what you can do is you can add logos, and then you will see that logo at the bottom. For this purpose, I'm going to remove it and have it raw. Now, you can create projects. What I mean by that is you might want to put several videos into one project and keep it together. You don't really need to do that for this purpose, as this is quite straightforward. Then we have the information. Now, just go over this and make sure you're happy with all of this. And I'm quite happy. I've used HDR. Now, what HDR will do is it will stop any windows, etc., from blowing out. What I mean by blowing out is from going white because they're overexposed. It also means that these lights won't be overexposed, and also any screens won't be overexposed. So it gives a nice balance. 25 frames per second, because we're in HDR mode, is fine. As you can see here, HDR video. And the bit rate has dropped a bit, but 93 megabytes per second is fine. So now, when you're happy with everything, this yellow button down the bottom right, you click on this, and it'll open up a separate window. Now, you must make sure that you click on 360 video. If you don't, it will literally just export this one screen. We want 360. Okay, bitrate, I'm happy with that. Resolution 5760 by 2880, that's fine. Now, grain. If it was late at night that you filmed, you might want to remove the grain, because you will get grainy footage if you're filming at night, because the camera is struggling to grab any natural light. So I'm ready, so I click Start Export. And what will happen is you'll see a preview here, and at the bottom here, you'll get a percentage. Okay, so we're nearly done. Once it's done, you'll hear a nice completion noise. And if you click on Export History, you'll see the video that you've just exported. And if you click on this little symbol here to open the folder, it will take you to that location. So here it is here. I'm going to drag it into videos. And here's our video. So if I double click on this,
That's not ideal though.
it will play the video.
Headset.
I know. But on YouTube, it's absolutely fine.
On YouTube, it's alright, yeah.
There you go. Close that off. And that is how you import and export footage into InstaStudio.